All right, guys, welcome. Today's total body fitness is going to be classics. So we're going to work on things like squats, sit-ups, and push-ups, but we're going to start actually on hands and knees. If you need something underneath your knees, go ahead and bring that out. We won't spend very long here, but I just want you to come to your hands and knees and move your spine around, moving your hips from side to side or doing a little bit of a spinal flexion extension known as cat and cow. And then we're going to take a calf stretch. So extending your right leg behind you, keep the ball of the foot down on the floor and gently pressing the heel backwards to stretch out through the bottom of the leg and the bottom of the foot. And change. And let's do one more round. And then we're going to come to seated. You can sit however is best for you, whether you like to cross your legs or if you need legs extended straight. I'm going to sit with the crossed leg, and all we're going to do is sit up tall. You're going to bring the arms open to a T. You're going to turn your head to the right and left. And now when you're doing that, you're going to turn the palm up that you're looking towards. So if you turn your head to the right, the palm goes up. Then you're going to turn your head to the left. That right palm turns down, the left palm turns up. And switch, and switch, and switch, 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 and switch. Release those arms down. Come onto your back, but specifically, how I'd like you to do it is we're going to round down. You're going to hold onto your legs. You're going to tuck your chin in, pull the belly button in so it's strong, your abs are strong, and you're going to try to lie down evenly. Try not to roll like one side then the other. If you need to put your hands behind you as an option, you can do that as well, but I really want you to use your core as much as possible as you lie down onto your back. And then once you get there, you're going to bend your knees and place your feet onto the floor. From here, we're going to do a glute bridge. So you're going to begin first at the abdominals. So you're going to press your lower back towards the floor, tightening up the core. That's going to create a little tilt in the pelvis. Then from there, you're going to push your heels down into the floor. Start to feel your glutes fire up. You'll feel your legs and hamstrings as well. You're just going to lift your hips up a little tiny bit here, just to stretch out the front thighs and start to feel all this core center activate. Then we're going to lower back down, and then you're going to rest. I want you to rest with your feet together and your knees open wide. Let's try that again. Bring your feet back to center, feet hip width distance apart. Going to press your lower back towards the floor or pulling the belly button down into your spine. Then using the strength of your legs, start to lift your hips up a little off the floor. Lower down and take that rest. And let's go one more time. Another glute bridge, pressing the back, abs on, legs on, hips come up, and lower down. We're going to do a stretch here by drawing the right knee into the chest. You can hold onto the hamstring, or if you'd like, on top of the shin. I prefer the hamstring method. And then extending your left leg. I want you to flex both of your feet. From here, I want you to lift your head and shoulders. So you're going to lift your head, lift your shoulders, and look down towards the bottom foot. That would be your left toe. See if you can see your toe poking up in the air. Lower back down. We're going to change legs. So draw the left leg in, grab a hold, and extend the right leg straight. Flex your feet. And now we're going to begin to lift the head and the shoulders, lifting, looking for that bottom foot. And release. Both legs come back in. Both legs up in the air. Point and flex your feet a little bit, or circle those ankles around. And let's do this again. Draw the knees into the chest. You're going to hang on to the right. Extend the left leg onto the mat. Flex your feet. And then bring your head and shoulders up off the floor. And release. Switching to the other side. Draw it in. Extend flexed feet. Head and shoulders come off the floor. And lower down. Bring both legs in. Legs go up in the air. Now we're going to do L's. So you're going to lower the right leg to a hover, bring it back up, and then the left leg lowers to a hover and bring it back up. You have the option to keep your head and shoulders on the mat, but if you'd like, if you're feeling already motivated to get into that core, you're going to lift your head and your shoulders and reach forward. We're going to lower the leg, nice slow control, and lift, and lower the other leg, and lift. Lower, and lift. Say good morning to your abs. And lift. Let's do one more round. Lower, and lift, and lower, and lift. Go ahead and lower everything down, hug the knees in. And then we're going to windshield wiper the legs. So feet go off the mat really wide, and you're going to roll from side to side. Rolling those knees, just stretching out the front of the thigh, getting that internal and external rotation. Coming back to center, heel toe your feet in. We're going to do a glute bridge again. This time we're going to see if we can go up a little bit higher with the hips without letting the back bend. So it's important to keep the abdominals strong. So tightening up, bracing those abs, pressing that back down, dig the heels into the floor, and then see if you can lift the hips maybe a little bit more with ease this time. And lower down. Draw your knees into your chest. And then roll on up to seated. Whew, excellent. All right, we're going to start with a modified side plank. I'm going to use my cushion underneath my elbow today. So you're going to come down onto your left elbow. Your knees and your feet are stacked, and the knees are bent. Now, I don't want the knees too far forward, so you want to extend them back so you feel like when you lift up and you flatten out this front part of you, that you can do that with ease. If your knees are too bent up, you can't really flatten out here very well. So you want those knees kicked down towards the bottom of your mat. You can use your top hand if you've got shoulder issues, and to lift up your hips a little bit. If you've got the full strength, you're going to bring the hand to the hip. We're going to hold here and lower down. Now we're going to come all the way onto the side. So lie all the way down onto your shoulder and extend the arms out in front of you. Here you're going to bring those knees up. Now it's nice and tight. And we're going to open to a twist. But here's the caveat. The caveat is I'm not opening to a full spinal twist. I'm just gonna bring the back of the head and the shoulder towards the mat, not even touching, just a little bit of a rotation. And then I'm gonna use my abdominals to lift and bring myself back up to center. Imagine that you're holding something up here. Eventually we can do this with a weight, but since we're just kind of warming up, we're just gonna do a no weight. So the arm stays relatively straight up to the ceiling, like I'm holding a pizza pie. Hey, that's so nice. And then you're going to push that up towards the ceiling as you come forward. Okay, we're gonna do 5 reps like this, and then we'll switch to the other side. Here we go. So you're open and then crunch. It's almost like a little side rotational crunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. Go ahead and take a switch to the other side. Now, I don't know about you all, but I always feel like my neck is my limiting factor. I always feel the burn in my neck muscles, and that's just, that's really actually a good thing, because we want to strengthen this neck, right? And it's like I could do so many more ab work, except for my neck's burning. And that's common. So come on down to the elbow. Your knees are going to extend. We're going to do that side plank hold. Once again, you can use both hands to lift yourself up, or bring the hand to the hip, or if you have a dog in your face, you can push him a little out of the way. It's been a little while since you joined us in the videos. And then we'll come on down. We're gonna lie all the way down onto the side for those rotational crunches. So reaching the bottom arm forward, palm is up. The other arm is gonna be up in the air. And you're gonna think just a partial opening, kind of rotating, bringing the gaze up towards the ceiling, and then using your abdominals to bring yourself back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. All right, let's come on to a plank position now. So we're going to do this modified on the knees if you can. We're going to go either hands or forearms. I like the forearms myself, so I'm going to take that option. And you're just going to extend your knees back. You're going to squeeze your bum and tighten all the muscles. And you're going to hold a plank, whether you're on your hands and on your feet. That works as well. Let's hold this for 10 counts. You ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down to your stomach. And now we're going to do the locust pose, or the airplane back extension. Arms come back by your hips, and we're going to tighten the butts, lift the legs. You're going to feel your lower back work. You're going to lift your head and lift your arms. Holding this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. You can come to your knees or do a child's pose stretch. All right, let's make your way to standing. All right, you should feel a little bit warm now. Gonna grab your chair. Gonna start with sit down and stand ups. Now, what I want you to try to do is just tap the chair with your bum And when you stand up, I don't want you to stand all the way up and take a break. I want you to try to stay into those knees. Now make sure the knees are tracking towards your toes and that they're not knocking inward. If you need to make sure that they're pushing out, you can always put like a loop band around your legs or put your hands to the sides to help assist that you're pushing outward when you come up. We're going to tap it and halfway or almost all the way up to a stand. Okay, we're going to do this 10 times. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do a quad stretch. You can hold on to the chair, grab a foot best you can, and stretch. And change. Alrighty. Next, you're going to get that long band. We're going to take it behind the back. You're going to bring it up pretty high so it comes kind of around right underneath your armpits. Then you're going to grab the ends and you're going to push forward a little bit like a push-up. So you're going to, I'm punching the hands, so my hands aren't going forward like a real push-up, but my arm's going to feel like a push-up. Elbows are down, not up, and they're not all the way in. They're like a 45-degree angle. And then you're going to push those arms forward and back. Okay, let's do 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Now we're going to do banded pull-aparts. So holding onto the band, arms will be straight. You're going to pinch your shoulder blades together and open the arms. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. You're going to put your band down. We're going to attempt to do a one-legged squat. So I'm going to turn to face the wall, and I'm going to bring the foot onto the chair. Now, I'm going to try to use mostly the standing leg and very little weight on this back leg that's on the chair. I'm going to go ahead and switch so you can see the other view. Very little weight on this back left foot and most of the weight here on the right. I'm going to just do this a very small percentage. I don't need to go down too low. And we're going to go. Now when you get there, you want to make sure that you feel your weight is centered on your foot, that you're still gripping with your big toe and your heel is down and your whole foot is flat, knee going over the toe, and then coming back up. Now if you can come back up part way, that will make it harder versus coming all the way up to a standing rest. Let's see if we can do 10 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Change. And we begin. Keep that big toe pressing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice, and as you get stronger, the stance can be a little bit longer and you can go a little lower. But that's a good beginner variation of the single leg split squat. All right, so next we are going to use the chair for our forearms. We're going to do a forearm plank with knee drive. So your arms are going to come down onto your chair. You're going to step those feet back into a plank. Okay, if this is all you can do, this is great. But if you're a strong planker, then you're going to try to bring that knee in towards the chair and step back, and then knee to chair and step back. Okay, let's do 10 of these, or a 10 count hold. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, keeping everything as steady as possible. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice, come on up. Let's do another quick stretch. I like a quad stretch after those couple of movements that we just did. You can't quite grab your foot. Another way you can do a quad stretch using a chair is sitting near the edge and bringing the foot underneath and leaning back. Okay, so if you can't, for whatever reason, can't quite grab your foot, here's an alternative to your quad stretch. Alrighty. Let's grab ourselves some weights. Let's do the light weights first. So I'm going to grab 3s. All right, let's do some shoulder work. So we are going to take front raise, lateral raise, and then we're going to do the bent over flies, which is your rear delt. So starting when the front, knees are soft, core is strong, elbows are soft as well. You're going to bring the arms forward and down. You have many different grips here. You can have the palms facing slightly inward. They can come inward, they can be up, they can be straight down. You've got to find a position that feels best for you in your shoulders. And then if all of them feel good, you can always alternate. So you can do a middle grip, you can do the facing inward, you can turn the palms up and just see, like kind of rotate through it, okay? But let's go ahead and do 15 total, and I'll let you guys make up your mind on where you're going to place those hands as you raise them forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said 15, didn't I? 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Excellent. Let's do the bent over flies next. So you're going to soften your knees. You want to hinge forward with a flat back. That way your stomach is strong. You really want to have those abdominals engaged. Your arms are going to float out to the side like an airplane wing and come back down. Remember, you want your neck long. I like to look at the floor about 4 feet out in front of me. That way I've got a long neck, strong abs, flat back, and I'm not doing this or this with my head, yes? All right, let's do it. Oh, let's do 12. And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Whew. Shake that out. Next, we're going to do the lateral raise. Here you can do the palms down, or you can do the palms forward where the thumbs are up to the ceiling. but I'm going to say let's try to do the palms down one. So we're really working more on the side of the shoulder. As soon as you turn the palms up, it comes a little bit more into the front of the shoulder. So, but for whatever reason, if out to the side, palms down bothers you, see about changing that grip, and maybe you can make it feel better. Elbows are soft, and we're trying not to go too terribly high. So I'm not trying to go way up like that. If anything, I'm trying to not even think about taking the hands up. I'm trying to use this part of my shoulder to raise the elbow up. And the hand just happens to be coming along for the right. And I don't want the shoulders to shrug, so I'm going to keep them down away from the ears. So one of the cues I kind of think of is I'm reaching to the side wall that way versus up to the ceiling. Okay? 1, 2, 3. And if it's too much, you can bend those elbows. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you got to stop at 10, I get it. 10, I'm feeling you. 11 and 12. Woohoo! All right, guys, you're going to put your light weights away. Now what we're going to look to do is a little bit of a lunge with a little bent over position, and we're going to look to lift the foot up off the floor. So it's going to look something like this. If I take my right foot forward, my left foot back, and I'm kind of in a wide stance, and I'm going to bend down like I'm going to pick something up, right? Now what you're going to do without coming up like this is you're going to try to lift the heel and take another really quick step. Almost like if you were walking and you tripped, right? And you got to catch yourself. It's just another little, it's like a little pop of the foot and recatch, okay? So I want you to kind of experiment with that and see where you can go. To make it more hard, you're going to bend further down, okay? So I might look more like this with the back heel up. Okay, that's going to really get into my leg and my glute versus being more upright with the bottom foot flat. Okay, so try a few on each side and see if you can lift that bottom foot without too much momentum coming up. Yeah, sometimes you got to do that first and then see if you can keep yourself down. That should be a good cardio burn. You can already hear me breathing heavy, and I just did a couple on each side. So kind of cool. It's a good balance exercise, a good strength. It's good for your fast twitch muscles, especially even if you play sports, you know, like tennis. You go for that low ball or pickleball, right? Bump a double step. You can even take these steps forward and back, sideways as you get more comfortable with the movement. Yep. Instead of it just being in place, try to take that step forward, back, side, in and out. Just don't hurt yourself, right? So be mindful on if this is brand new for you versus if you've done fast footwork like this before. All right, next we're going to get back to the biceps, so grab your heavier weights for bicep curls. We're going to do a set of 12 with the palms facing forward, and then we're going to do a set of 8 with the palms facing inward. Okay, here we go, palms forward, curling them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Take a break. Whew. All right, we got 8 more to go, hammer grip style. Strong abs. And we begin. Exhale 1, 2, exhale 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you got 2 more in you, go right on ahead. Depends on how heavy your weights are, right? Go ahead and put your heavier weights down. And next you're going to grab your step. We're going to do some step ups. I'm using a yoga block for my step. And we're going to step up and do a lateral kick out to the side. So I'm going to use the back of my chair to help with balance, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to step up and then kick the leg out. I'm going to come back down, bend both knees, and push and kick out. Let's try it. And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is our last set of squatty legs. Other side. Going to step up and kick the leg out. And we begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Excelente. Next, we're going to do some push-ups. No, not push-ups. So you got some options here. You can do on the knees. I'm going to get my little knee pad out again. And what I mean by that is I don't want you to think that you're on a tabletop on the knees, bending the elbows like this, okay? If you're on your knees, you actually want the hands way out in front so that you shift forward and you're hardly on your knees. The other thing that you're going to do when you bend your elbows is you don't want them coming straight out to the side like this. So my face would be like between my hands, my elbows out. We want to do kind of what we did with that long band. The long band you had around and you pushed forward, that's the motion you want. You want your elbows at a 45-degree angle and your hands more lined up with your shoulders and not up here, right? That way you want to feel your chest do work and your triceps do work when you straighten and lock out the arms. So at the top, when your arms are straight, you want to lock them out, squeeze those triceps, and then bend the elbows back just to your degree. If you can get their chest way down low, that's great. If you can just go part way down, that's great too, okay? Here we go. Shift forward, lock them out. Bend the elbows, exhale, lock them out. Bend the elbows, 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 lock them out. One more. Bend the elbows and lock them out. Take a quick stretch and then make your way back onto your back. Glute bridge. All right, back up we go. This time you should be able to go quite a bit higher with a lot of ease. Arms by your sides, palms down, abs strong, shoulders strong, gripping the mat. And then tighten your butt, lifty, lifty. Keeping the abs strong so you're not back bending. And lower down. Knees come in, head comes up, shoulders come up, reach forward. We're going to bicycle those legs, extending one leg to a hover. Bring it in and extend the other and bring it in. Now you can alternate quicker than that, doing a right leg and then switch and switch. But the modification would be one knee in, both knees in, extending one leg, both knees in, extending. If you want to take it up a notch, you can bring your hands behind your head and twist, bringing opposite elbow to knee. So right elbow to left knee, Left elbow to right knee. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. One more, finishing it out. And take a rest, wide legs, windshield wiper those legs side to side. Coming back to the glute bridge, heel toe your feet in. This time, if you felt really strong, you're going to try to do this with one leg. Otherwise, continue with the two-leg variation. Arms by your side, long neck, feet tucked in, hip width distance apart. Pressing the belly into the mat, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, and then see if you can extend one leg in the air without a lot of wobble. From here, you're going to lower and lift 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down and recover. Okay, let's reset for the other side. Pressing the lower back, arms strong, neck is long, lift the hips up, and then find the stabilization here through the body, lifting the opposite leg, and we lower, lift 5 times. Tap, lift 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Take a rest. Windshield wiper your legs, wide feet, roll side to side. All right, heel toe your feet back in and extend your legs a little bit longer. And we're going to look to do a roll up or a partial roll up crunch. You can bring your hands behind your head for support, but remember, don't pull on your head with your hands. You're going to lift head, shoulders. You can reach forward. If you can roll all the way up, that's great. You can use your legs as an assist to come up, and you're going to roll back down. Okay? Now, if rolling all the way up is not a good idea for your back, just do the partial crunches. See how far you can lift yourself up. You've got that full roll up. Go ahead and do that. See what you can do. Five more counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, take rest. All right, extend your legs long, flex your feet. Draw the right knee into your chest. And then bring it a little out to the side towards your shoulder to kind of open up in the groin. And then bring it back to center and change legs. Left knee draws into the chest. And then bring it a little out to the side towards the shoulder. And release. We're going to do the figure 4 glute stretch. So feet are on the floor, cross the right ankle over the knee. You're going to start by separating your femur bone from your hips. So you're going to press really low, pushing the leg away. It's going to help create a little space there in the hip socket. That way, when you draw the knees into the chest on this next round here, we're going to pull the knees all the way in. It's created a little bit of space, so now you can get the full glute stretch. Ideally, your whole spine is flat while doing this, so don't over pull in and have a big old rounded spine like that. Try to keep yourself nice and flat. And release. Let's try the other side. Crossing the left ankle, we're starting by pushing the leg out of socket. Try, I mean, you're not going to be able to do it, but that's kind of the thinking process as I'm trying to push that leg right away from my body. And then release. You're going to draw everything in. And release. If a back bend is okay for your spine and you don't have spinal stenosis, you're going to roll over onto your stomach for either a sphinx or just propped up on your elbows, stretching out those abdominals. If you like the full cobra, you can take that as well. Hands come by your lower ribs. You're going to lift your head and your shoulders and use the strength of your arms to start to lift yourself up. You can come to straight arms if that feels okay. You can always keep them bent if that feels better. And then lower on down. Child's pose, very briefly here. And then downward facing dog. Make your way to standing. So walk your feet and your hands close together so that you can come into a forward fold, stretching out, final, and make your way on up. All right, guys, that's it for today's Total Body Fitness. We'll see you next time. Actually, oh, sorry. Didn't like seeing the side wall there. Let me just do a little adjustment there, make that just a little bit more betters. There we go. Gotta have it just right.